What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the show. Recap with Mo. We're actually getting ready to get into a discussion about the most recent episode from Tyler Perry's Zatima, Season 2, Episode number 6, titled Too Close for Comfort. Alright, so the synopsis for this episode states that tensions escalate between Zach and Fatima amid cheating accusations. Nathan spots a familiar face on a dating app, and Bryce confronts Angela about ghosting him. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get into it, right? Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the episode. So in this episode, we start off in front of Angela's house, and the guy by the name of Sean, who they met at Club Eden, actually drops them off at the crib. So Angela is sitting on the front seat, Fatima's in the back, and the whole time Angela is trying to get old boy. She's trying to convince old boy to come inside with her. Go ahead and drop off Fatima, and you can come back over here and do what you do, break my back in, right? So Fatima's like, hell no, y'all not getting ready to do that. You don't know this nigga from Adam, so I'm not going to allow you to do that. But Angela's like, no, we good. Go on and do what you got to do and go ahead and let me do what I'm trying to do. So anyway, long story short, Angela actually gets out of the car. Both Angela and Fatima get out of the car, and she allows Angela to go ahead and get into the house, where she falls in the middle of the floor as soon as she comes into the house. So old boy is looking at her from the back like, all right, you know what I'm saying? But he looked like he was looking at Fatima as well. I didn't blame him. But anyway, so Fatima she trying to play hard. She's like, no, he insists that he takes her home as well. She's like, no, I'm good. I could just walk. But she started to take a few steps, and she decided to decline that and said, no, go ahead and take me around the corner, because obviously old girl's feet were hurting from the shoes she was wearing. So I don't even know how they wear them, but they look good when you got them on. So it is what it is. So anyway, so Fatima gets in the back, and she reminds old boy, hey, remember, I got a gun and I got a man at home. But most importantly, nigga, I got a gun and I'm sitting in the back seat. So you know what that means. So in the meantime, while she's on her way back to the crib, Zach is still in Deja's house. And Deja is sitting over there fine as hell with a towel on, still trying to entice Zach to do what he needs to do. Like she said, my back hurt, my neck hurt. I need you to ease that pain. I need you to bring some of that icy hot. I need you to bring some of that icy hot and soothe my pain right now. And Zach is like, no, I ain't even trying to hear that. I need you to keep your distance, because I'm trying hard as hell not to go in. Like, I'm trying my best. And he's trying to convey to her. Now, I'm going to be honest. At the end of the previous episode, I thought Zach was getting ready to go in. Because the way he was looking at her, he was looking like a lion, and she was a lamb getting ready to be led to slaughter. That's pretty much what I was looking at in that whole situation. But obviously, he restrained himself. So once again, I'm finding myself applauding Zach throughout these episodes. Like he's resisting quite well. So as I stated before, she's constantly enticing him. And he's like, no, I'm cool with that. And you need to stop doing what you're doing, trying to make my woman mad with all this stuff. You just try to make her mad. Now, honestly, I don't know if Deja's intentions are to honestly make, Fatima mad at this time, because I honestly think that she just likes to get it in with Zach. That's probably what it is. Some females are like that. They just like getting it in. They don't necessarily have to like you to get it in. They just like how you put it down, if you understand what I'm saying. So I'm not sure if Deja is actually a woman that's looking to, throw salt in the game of another man's relationship or another woman's relationship, as we're talking about, or is she just looking to have a good time? So it's hard for me to really grasp what she's doing right now, but I would love to hear your thoughts on that. But it looks like she's still trying to get it in, regardless of what Zach is trying to tell her. She ain't trying to hear that. So pretty much she was like, you know what, keep doing what you're doing. Old girl is out there doing what she's doing, and you keep being faithful while she's doing you in. But that's cool. You got all this laying on the couch and you still not trying to take advantage of it. So Zach is like, look, I need you to just chill out. I need you to stop putting on, and I need you to just stop going through all of this stuff because I'm not leaving my girl for Tima. So that was pretty much it on that episode. They went a little bit further with some things, but I believe, as always in Tyler Perry shows, there's a lot of fluff in between. So some of that stuff was, it just made the scene longer. I don't know necessarily if it was, beneficial for the scene. So we'll leave it at that. So then Zach leaves. He leaves Deja's house, and at the same time, Fatima's getting out in the back of the truck. So Zach sees the truck pull off with the guy in the front seat, obviously, and then he sees Fatima walking with her dress, getting out of the back of the car, walking towards the door, and he's walking, holding himself, where she can't see him, down there in that region. And she was like, okay. So when they get into the house, he's laying in the bed on his cell phone, and then out of nowhere, Fatima comes in with a bonnet on her head and looks like a moo-moo. I'm not sure what it was. But of course, Zach had this stank look on his face like, what the hell is going on here? Like, every man knows what that look is. Like, when you first get married or you get into a relationship, the woman comes to the bed every night, like, on fire. Like, she looks bomb from the head down. Like, you see no imperfections, right? And then after you've been in a relationship for a while, she starts coming to the bed with a bonnet or some rollers, a wrap on her head, and you're like, what the hell is this? So Zach obviously ain't seen his girl really in this sight before, because the way he's looking, like, what the hell is going on? And she was like, well, this is what my mom sent me in the care package. And he was like, she honestly don't want to have no grandkids, because if you gonna look like that, ain't no nigga gonna want to put his hands on you. But I disagree, because I think about Big Mama and all them folks back in the day. They didn't have no Victoria's Secret and no Fenty and all this stuff. They pretty much had on the moo-moos, man, and they were popping out left and right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 babies, man. So, I mean, I guess it depends, bro. But it worked for Grandpa and great-grandpa then, so why would it work for me? So he pretty much tells her, what's going on. They get into a big argument about this whole situation, about how they feel on both ends. She's talking about how she feels that this relationship is going in the wrong direction. He feels the same way. He also feels that she's not giving him the things that he needs in this relationship for him to feel like this relationship is going well. So obviously his energy right now is set on the fact that Fatima ain't giving him the loving that he's seeking, right? So Fatima needs to know that Zach is looking for physical love. And if he's not receiving that physical love, then he's not feeling loved in that relationship. See, we get deep on this channel tonight. And then on the flip side of it, Fatima is like, I'm not happy right now where we are in this relationship. I don't like how you are attacking the people around me. You're not trusting me. You have all these issues. And then she popped up and stated that this all started when you went to go see your mom. So Zach was like, hold on, we're not going to talk about that situation, because first of all, you were the one that enticed me, or encouraged me rather, to go check in on my mom, to go speak to her. So honestly, I'm blaming all this shit on you. But then she was like, that's when it all started. So both of these people really need to sit down with somebody that can mediate. And I guess that's what Fatima's looking for at the end of the episode, but we're not there yet. But I think that all of this stuff is just surface. They can work through this, but obviously they move, number one, too fast. Moving in together, y'all ain't been together that long. And you're moving in together, you doing marriage people stuff, and you're not ready to be on that commitment type of level. So anyway, I'm not going to talk all day about that, but I just feel like they move too fast, and they are where they are. Sometimes you can get caught up in the physical part of it, the physical aspect of it, and that ain't even gonna keep you long. Because what happens when the individual decides to take a break for the week? like we're saying right now, Fatima, she wore out, man. She wore out. Obviously, Zach is putting it in. He breaking that back in good, and she can't take it. So she gives him a toy to deal with, and we'll talk about that later. But anywho, so she decides to get up out the room. She said, I'm leaving. I'm pretty much going back to my parents' house. I'm gonna sleep in my room or some shit like that. So Zach is like, okay, I ain't dealing with all this shit. He turns over and he lays down. He's going to bed. So next thing you know, Fatima leaves. Instead of going to her house like she said she was going to do, she ends up going back to Angela's house. Now, I don't know how she got over there. I don't know if she drove or not. But so when she comes in, Angela's on the couch enjoying herself with old boy that she told to come back to the house and meet her. So Angela's getting in, and Fatima's like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? Who is that? Because you can't see old boy's head. So he raises up, and she was like, oh, hold on, wait a minute. So old boy done got back over there, and Angela's like, look, you need to go upstairs because you messing up what I got going on. So so Fatima goes upstairs, and Angela continues to do what she's doing. So the next thing we see, we head back over to Zach's house. It's morning time now, and Zach's at the house obviously by himself because Fatima left. And the phone is sitting on the counter. It looks like on the island. So Zach is in the kitchen running water or something like that, and then he goes over to the cell phone. And you know how we do sometimes when we get into an argument with somebody, definitely if we care about it, we look on our phones to see if we have received a text message. You know, that's the number one thing, definitely for men, and well, I ain't just gonna say men, for men of both women and men, that, hey, I want to see if she gave in first, or if he gave in first. But if they didn't do it, then shit, I ain't gonna do it either, because I don't feel like I'm the one that needs to give in because I went in the wrong, and that can go on and on. So he looks at the phone and he says, I'm not gonna call you. I'm not calling you. So where we go from there? Oh yeah. Then we go to over to Tony's house. Tony has Nathan sleeping on the couch. Obviously, he's having this situation with his girl, his wife, and he's sleeping on this couch. Now, I don't know if Tony got any additional rooms, but I mean, he seemed like he could have gave his homie an additional bedroom, not just sleeping on the couch, but maybe that might just be his situation. But he wakes old boy Nathan out of his sleep, Nate out of his sleep, and they had this whole little discussion about what you're going to do. And Tony's like, you already looking for a divorce. But Nathan is like, no, I'm really thinking that's not really what I want. And oftentimes, we really don't know what we want. But sometimes it seems like divorce is just the best option. But I'm telling you now, divorce is not always the best option. Sometimes you just might need to work that shit out and stand in it. Yeah, I made a mistake. It's my bad. It's my fault. And let's move forward with it and let me deal with it that way. But sometimes people be so ready to daggone leave a relationship without working it out. And then you be mad about the shit later because you didn't stand on your shit, work that shit out, and then move forward. So I'm going to leave that alone, man. But that's pretty much what he's going through. But he's still looking at these sites with, women on him trying to, hook up. So with that being said, he gets on this link where he's on this website where he actually discovers a profile with Fatima. So Fatima's on this site. Obviously, she's out there looking as well, or this is an old account that he just so happens to run by. We really don't know. Tyler Perry, really didn't go into detail about it, but what we do know is that she has a profile on this single site, right? So he was like, oh, this is real. No, this can't be her. So when he shows the information to Tony's like, no, that got to be something else. Like, that ain't her for real. But they just like, no, for real, this is her. So they don't believe one another. So he says, okay, let me call Zach. So when they call Zach, hey, check your phone, some shit like that. And Zach is like, look, I don't want to know anything else. I don't want to see anything else about Fatima and old boy. So right then and there, his homies knew that, oh, boy, like another dude, like, and Tony, not Tony, but Nate was like, I told you. So I think they got off the phone for that because they didn't say anything else during that time frame. So the next thing we see is Fatima sitting at the kitchen counter at Angela's house. So Angela comes downstairs floating like she's on cloud nine or some shit like that, and she's just talking like, I blew old boy out last night. Like, he the one gonna have issues because we did it in. Like, and Fatima was like, what's really going on here? Like, are you still thinking about Bryce? I think that's his name. And she's like, no, I'm done with him. I'm not really concerned with him anymore. So, in the meantime, Sean is coming down the steps. He's getting ready to leave. He says, see you later, Fatima. And then he says, all right, I'll call you later. And Angela's like, we'll see. So when Zach is getting ready to leave, he opens the door, and Bryce is standing at the door, Fatima's ex or current boyfriend, whatever he is to her. So Bryce comes in, and both Fatima and Sean leave. So Bryce comes in, he was like, what's going on? You're not returning my calls? Like, you ghosted me? Like, what's going on? It seems like, look, we just got a whole lot of things we got to go through. And right now, I'm not ready to really go into that. That's pretty much what she was saying. And he was like, well, we just need to talk about it. Like, what's really going on? What's on your mind? So she was like, well, we really need to talk about it, but I really want to put something together where we can sit down with somebody else and we can hash it out. So he was like, okay, that's cool. And then that man turns around and he was like, well, who's old boy that was at the door? She was like, you really don't want to know about that. And he was like, is that what we about to do right now? She was like, yeah, that's what we're about to do right now. So then he strolls up out the house. He strolls up out the house real quick, like he's real mad. And like he been mad right now. So Fatima goes back to the crib. And when Fatima gets to the crib, Zach is nowhere to be found. She's calling the therapist. She's calling the therapist to set an appointment for she and Zach. I believe she and Zach to come in. Maybe it's just her, but she wants to sit down with him. So she asked, when would be a good time? Do you have any availabilities? Like, what is your most, like, when are you available, pretty much? And he says, well, I actually got some time available later on today. So she was like, great. So the issue is with all of this is a connect from the guy that she was on the elevator with named Paul, which we already know Zach has a problem with Paul. And they had a situation that went down in the elevator with Paul. So we don't know how that's going to turn out because she turns around and tells Angela about that whole situation after she gets off the phone with the therapist. And Angela's like, I don't feel too good about that, sis. Like, I don't know how that's going to go. Definitely how Zach is feeling right now about, Paul in this whole situation. So I don't think that's the best thing. So while she's in the midst of conversating with Angela on the phone, she hears these moans coming from upstairs. And she was like, what the hell? Like, and then not in those words, right? So she was like, what in the world is going on? So she makes her way to the first few steps. And she was like, I know this nigga. I know this nigga ain't doing what I think he's doing. So she probably thought that he had a old girl over there, and he was bold enough to bring him back into her house, right? But or his house, as she said in the bed. When you get mad, you rehash what he said to you earlier, but now it's back in my house because you still got a key to my house. But now, anyway, let's get off of that. So she goes running up the stairs. I know this mother ain't doing what I think he's doing. So when she gets up there, Zach done took that flashlight thing, that little sidekick, and he getting in upstairs. And I guess she comes up in the time when he was getting ready to knock it off, if you know what I'm saying. And he was like, oh no. And you could tell the look. Now, see, this is my thing, though. This is my thing. Fatima can't be too shocked. Because Fatima, you were the one that bought the daggone toy. Like, Why you give me the toy if you didn't want me to use the toy? You ain't giving me no loving. You left last night talking about you going to your parents' house, coming to bed with that boo-boo on. But you can't have no issue with, you can't have no now issue with me doing what I'm doing with this toy, because you were the one that bought it for me. You were the one that told me that I needed to use it. And now you can't have that face, that look on your face right now when I'm getting it in like I'm getting it in. Now, I can see the embarrassment, though, on my boy's face, because no man wants to be caught in no man wants to be caught in that predicament, man. When you got the, you relieving yourself, and somebody walks up and they catch you in the do. Damn. Well, that was pretty much it for this episode, man. That's how the episode ended. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel. We give you all things black, man. Everything in between black. That's what we talk about on this channel, man. We recap things that I'm just running through. You never know what I'll recap. But anyway, please like and subscribe to this channel. Tell somebody about this channel. And as always, be yourself. Peace out.